Oh. Here we are with Tobias Kirstein here in Copenhagen railway station. Hello, Tobias.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good. This was quite a show.
Yeah. Pretty intense.
Yeah, it's very intense. It's even the ground is shaking when the trains pass below us. And I find this immensely interesting, just to sit here and spy on people.
Yeah, and people think that we are just listening music,
which podcast,
which we are actually doing, but
yeah, but I had to close my eyes because when I watch people, I just get all these thoughts and try to understand them or whatever.
Yeah, so stories.
Yeah, exactly, and how they walk and what they're going for and all that. So if I have to listen, then I have to close my eyes.
Yes.
So I can see all the colors and strange shapes of the sounds. Yeah. Oh, this bass.
Yeah, I noticed. What I really like is to listen just to space and the echo. But it's actually pretty hard because your mind is immediately picking up, like following some small detail, and then you just have to come back up to the roof, and then you just like start to follow immediately something.
Yeah.
I guess that's how the mind works. That when it finds something interesting, it wants to investigate it and kind of lose the whole picture, and then you have to come back to the big picture again. And but closing your eyes, definitely it helps. Yeah.
I mean, I might look a bit strange and spiritual or whatever, but it works.
yeah.
But I mean, in this environment, you can act in so many ways.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that you're here to go somewhere or to wait or to meet somebody.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's super interesting. And earlier they still do have toilets, but the toilets down here at the end was kind of really dodgy. And I really like that environment also.
Yeah.
That there's something going on that I don't really understand. There's so much desire and direction and planning and all that. That's
so many directions.
Yeah. There's also, I mean, I didn't try to focus on one sound, but I think I swept the area of the frequency areas. Like you can hear this at the top of the building. There's all the voices and movements kind of go up to the top of the building into the architecture, like the tip of the fire or whatever. I think that's beautiful.
Yes.
And then you could hear the guy cough and cough. Over here, it's kind of, which is very kind of concrete.
Yeah.
Not very abstract.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, there's a thing about voices that when you talk, you give out a sound, but it's not yours anymore. I mean, that's a kind of a paradox that when you talk, the sound is not yours anymore. And that is also, I think, why when people listen to their own voice, a recording of their own voice, it's kind of, that's not my voice anymore. It's the machine's voice, or it's a public voice. But people say, it's your voice. No, but it's not me.
That's true. Yeah.
And I think that's an aspect of the Alvin Lucier piece. I'm sitting in a room that people don't think about. That's also an aspect of that the voice turns into technology.
Yeah.
You kind of, estranged from the voice.
Yeah.
Which also happens here in a sense. All these movements and kind of friction or whatever is just in the room, is part of the architecture, and the architecture shapes this whole experience of being in a room. So it's kind of a dynamic relationship.
Yeah.
I often sit here just to watch people.
Yes.
Especially Friday afternoon. And the soldiers come and like there's some extra tension and electricity.
Yeah.
People are a bit drunk or something, going home.
Yeah.
Or going on vacation.
And it's really nice I also like the waves of how it builds up and then it's gone, and lots of people and go, and it's really calm and then really noisy, and it's really...
There's so much depth to it.
Yeah.
I mean, in the front it's really precise. You can hear the gear or the heels.
Yeah.
And in the background you can hear something else, and kind of like very complex whole of frequencies.
Has there ever been any sound pieces in this space?
They're really strict on that.
Yeah.
I tried to rent the first room out there. It's super expensive, and you can only do it for a couple of hours.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it is a sound piece.
It is. Yeah.
You don't need it. I should just put a title on the wall.
Exactly. We can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do that, actually. But they're super strict, especially in these terror times.
Yeah.
So you can't really do anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a coincidence that the architecture is like this for a main station. I don't know what their plans, the spoken plans, or what their idea of sound is, but I think it's not a coincidence that these big stations have this kind of sonic situation going on.
Yeah.
I was in Leipzig. They have one of the biggest in Europe stations. This big, huge room, and the acoustics were like phenomenal. I think there's a thought in there, maybe not a spoken thought, maybe not a explicit thought, but it's there somehow.
Yeah.
That when you arrive with the others in this huge room and blend. I don't know. I did this book with Klaus Haxholm, where we, I can just try to do it, it was a book with a built-in tone generator. So when you read the book, which is a sort of very private moment, people don't disturb you when you read a book, then you turn on the tone generator, and it plays 10,000 hertz. And then you can kind of frame your listening and intrude on the listening environment, which I find really interesting, because when you listen, you invade a territory. You're kind of you're changing it by listening to it, and we kind of try to enhance that thought by using a tone generator, where you actually just play a sound. But it's a frequency that a lot of people can't hear or don't recognize as a sound, and some of them, if they recognize it, they think it's technology. Because we are surrounded by whatever humming and so
Yeah. Do you have it there?
Yeah, I can just play I have a frequency generator.
I can hear it at least.
We can hear it.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of interesting things going on in this, but then people, or the sounds from the people kind of relates to the tone. They kind of talk to each other.
Yeah.
And also, when I turn it off, it's sort of still there.
Yeah.
So we've kind of changed the listening environment, which listening is not a naive thing to do. It's not a virgin thing to do. It leaves a mark.
Yeah.
And I think this is a way to kind of deal with that area.
Yeah. So what was the book called again?
Handbook of Aggressive Listening.
Aggressive, yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I should have brought you one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember I saw you and Klaus' other work in this Storup festival. Or actually I didn't see anything or hear anything, but just came to my mind that it was really interesting to go next to the field and try to see something and try to hear something, but you kind of know that you can't see or hear anything, but still because you've been there, or at least I have an idea that you have been there, so it makes it also different.
We were there and we dug down, dug a hole and put a small copper sculpture in the ground. That's next to the sewer.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a sculpture that's kind of locked on itself. Circuit. I don't know, circumvented.
Yeah. But I like it a lot, and it's really interesting to stand there and just
Right. And I think it's maybe overgrown now, so you can't see anything.
Probably. Yeah. I only saw that there was some people has been standing there or doing something, but I didn't see anything. Everything was underground, I guess so.
Yeah, but that's.
But yeah, it was really beautiful.
Oh. But that's an area I find interesting.
Yeah.
And also because there's so much information connected, and connotations and expectations and cultural whatever connected to these everyday things we do that we find kind of neutral.
Yeah.
And I find that interesting to just touch upon this area. Kind of create a new position within that. I mean, all these sounds are just everyday sounds you're listening to right now. It could be whatever station in the world, but I mean, Northern Europe maybe. I'm sure when you go to Kerala, the station will sound pretty different.
Yeah.
But everyday sounds, it carries a lot of information. There's this Georges Perec, French author, who wrote a lot of very interesting texts. But he wrote two texts I find interesting. connected to this area. That kind of, he says, let's listen to all the sounds that has no name and has just the everyday sound.
Yeah.
And the everyday movement and the everyday actions. Instead of, he says, a car is only a car when it crashes.
Yeah.
A plane is only a plane when it crashes, and so on.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about also mass media and the media kind of interpreting our world. But what about all the movement and actions that has no interpretation? It just goes on. Then he sits at a place in Paris and he tries to look at all this action around him with new eyes. So he says, 3 women carrying each their own suitcase or whatever. Now I'm just trying to describe this. And people are having headphones on.
Yeah.
I saw 10 with headphones on going to the left and so on.
Yeah.
And then after a while he kind of creates a code. When the bus passes, it's no longer bus 47 going to whatever place. It's just 47.
Yeah.
And he creates his own code in reflecting and interpreting his environment. And in this way, he's kind of the crazy. He's kind of the crazy madman sitting on top of the world on one hand, and on the other hand, he's kind of just transparent and totally just absorbing whatever his environment is doing.
Yeah.
And I find this position, especially when you kind of do field recordings,
Yeah.
that you have to acknowledge that these two positions are at play at the same time.
Yeah.
And also kind of just be open to all this strange energy you are surrounded with.
Yeah.
But it's a kind of powerful and very naive and vulnerable situation to put yourself in.
Yeah.
When you walk around in this sonic territory, you reflect or you react on the sounds in the room, the sounds you make, of course, and the sounds other people make. And you just do it because you don't want to, walk into people's lane or whatever.
Yeah.
You want to get to the train or whatever.
Yeah.
But or get home or whatever. But I did this kind of intervention or whatever some years ago, where I made people send me sounds from Ramallah and from Mexico City and from around the world. I have friends that sent me sounds from the streets, and then I recorded sounds from the streets, and we sent the sounds to each other and played them in the street in the hope of creating a kind of see what happens actually.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when we mix the sounds from other environments into this environment, kind of contaminated with other energies and other acoustic capabilities or whatever.
Yeah.
And of course you don't know what happened. But
did something happen?
Something happened because I did it, and the others did it too.
Yeah.
And all these, I mean, the sounds are part of our way of existing, right?
Yeah.
Existing in a room.
Yeah.
I did this big sound installation, like tone generator, heavy sound in a very big room here in Copenhagen. And people, it was all dark, and people walked down the stairs. And because they couldn't hear themselves, they didn't know really how to react in the room. They were all kind of moving very slow and tentative, and it was so beautiful. And I kind of took away the sonic environment from them. They couldn't orientate themselves. And that created this very intimate situation.
Was it like so loud that?
It was very loud.
Okay.
But it sounded beautiful because 7 speakers with each its own tone. So when you moved, it kind of changed. You could create kind of your own sweet spot.
Yeah. Was it empty? I think I know what.
Cisternerne, it's called.
Yeah. I've been there. Yeah. Was it empty or was there some?
There was an installation from a Japanese architect called Sambuichi.
Okay.
And he had made this big wooden installation. So that actually there was also this very fragrant smell of cedar trees. But that was it.
Yeah.
And then people walked down there, and then I just stood in the dark just to see how people reacted. And then there was this couple, and they stood like 1.5 meters from me, and just listened. And then they started to make out, like really heavy petting, because it was their private space. Not a sound. Nobody could hear them. And I was just, okay, how far is this going? But luckily they stopped. But that's the sounds created a kind of private room for them, I think. It's maybe the best review I've ever had. But we should do this again when you come back to Finland. I will send you a sound, and you can send me a sound.
The street thing.
And just play it in the street. Don't tell anybody. I think it's good to contaminate a bit. And see what this kind of magic, what follows from this kind of magic.
Definitely.
Was it the same guy who just came before?
I don't know. I started to listen this completely focused on this machine.
Maybe he's washing the floor.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Well, we'll never know.
No. But I came by train from Stockholm, and it was really beautiful. This drone electric. I don't know. Maybe it was some electric from the engine, but it was whole this 6 hours. Really sharp. And it's funny that pretty fast we don't hear those anymore, but they're always there. Like it's really funny how fast we lost them.
Yeah, and it's when people say that the ears is the only organ you can't close. It's just wrong.
No.
Then we would hear every sound in this room all the time, and we don't.
No.
Oh, look at those socks.
No. Wow.
But I think the interesting about listening is that you can actually open and close and focus on different kind of areas in the frequency, or sounds you know, sounds you don't know. the emotional response to some sounds.
Yeah. But this is, I really start to feel this building like these huge instruments where the people are just playing inside, and it just takes all together, brings it all together.
It's a good building. Too bad they built all this in the middle, but
Yeah.
that's how it is. It's still beautiful. I think it's in the style of national romanticism. All the stations, most of the stations, on Zealand at least, maybe around Denmark is built in this style.
Yeah.
The older ones,
Yeah.
the red and the green, and all this wooden whatever.
Yeah. And it's pretty big.
Pretty big.
Yeah. Would like to say it's
Down
big.
here on the left, there used to be a place where the junkies hung out. They actually still do, but then they put up this sound installation, which it's one of the best in Denmark ever. They just played classical, like Vivaldi or whatever, music, very, very loud. So there's this one room that just used classical music as a detergent.
Yeah.
That was so interesting. I just love to hang out there. It's just unreasonably loud.
Yeah. So, what are you working now, or what is your main focus on your work these days?
That's a good question. It changes a lot what I do. But at the moment I'm preparing the teaching I have to do at an art school, which is really interesting. I'm teaching both philosophy and sound art. So in the morning I have philosophy, and in the afternoon it's sound art. So I'm trying to focus in on that, and I've done it several years, but so I have to change it every time, so it gets interesting for myself. But besides that, I'm doing the Topas label with Jakob Kirkegaard and Niels Lykkegaard.
Did the book, this listening book, came through that? No.
No, it didn't.
It was different.
No, that was before.
Okay.
No, we're releasing our own stuff and want to curate kind of records and releases and publications and exhibitions. And our first release was this John Cage recording that has never been released before.
Yes.
And then our own stuff. And now we're just trying to figure out the distribution. We have to send the records to people, which is kind of... We just started and we don't know how to do it.
So it's gonna be books and records and whatever.
And thinking in different media.
Yeah.
It's super nice. And then I'm working on a small exhibition space. I was asked to create this space. It's in an old shop in the city, in the middle of the city, kind of the rich area of the city. And I'm trying to figure out how to do this, how to find an identity that keeps me curious.
Yeah.
But it's I don't do a lot of sound kind of mixing and stuff. I was never a very big fan of that.
Yeah.
I do my stuff very fast.
Yeah.
And then I like to write. That's kind of how I do it these days.
Yeah.
I'm writing this text on kind of a monotonous text on the revolution, which I'm gonna. The Tobias guys, we're making a show at a big gallery in Copenhagen called Copenhagen Contemporary, and I'm gonna read this text aloud with the Sons of God, Leif Elgren and Tankred.
Yeah.
So that will be kind of my premiere with it.
When is this?
The November 8th.
Okay. Yeah.
So I do a lot of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, looks like I was checking your new web page and it looks pretty good tempo. Keep it on.
Yeah, exactly. And then I did this poster for. I was invited to do an artwork for a bar, and I was invited with 99 other men, and the subject was beer, and I kind of felt trapped. That's just awful. All men and beer, I just hate it. So I did. That was a kind of good situation to be in.
Yeah.
So I did this, I think it's called riso printing,
Yeah.
an old kind of print.
Yeah.
With the last male white rhinoceros was kind of a picture of it dead, the dead body of it, and then a text from Brett Kavanaugh where he defends himself by saying he likes beer.
Yeah.
So I did this kind of strange poster,
Yeah.
and people actually buy it. So I think it's a good think piece
Yeah.
that goes in so many directions.
Yeah.
So I do often when I do stuff like that, I have the idea and kind of the visual idea, but I can't do it myself because I haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
So I just collaborate with people who can do it.
Yeah.
So I give the content and the general idea, and they just fix it.
Yeah.
So that's often how I work
Yeah.
in collaborations,
Yeah.
because it's better that people do the things they're good at instead of me being bad at it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy this kind of creative electricity that goes on when you collaborate.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
just more fun. I mean, most of the time I just sit alone and write
Yeah.
and whatever. And you need this meeting with people. I'm also translating books, which is kind of the same
Yeah.
office work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, different stuff.
Yeah. But you are not playing, for example, drums anymore.
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah. Live shows? You
still-
played with the Gage thing.
Yeah. But I still do live shows.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it every day. But I have a tone generator that was built for me, like with 7 oscillators.
Yeah.
And
Is it the Derek Holzer built it?
Dirk Holzer, yeah.
Because we met once and it just came stuck in my mind because he's living in Helsinki. So
Okay.
yeah.
He's doing a PhD or whatever.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, he built it and then he said, I will never do this again. That was just too big a project, I think.
So there's 7 oscillators.
Yeah.
And then can you control them somehow, like?
Yeah, I can control the volume and then the kind of the whole frequency area from 0 to 20,000, I guess.
Yeah.
And then within that the small area, I can kind of fine tune it.
Yes.
And then it has each oscillator has its own out.
Yeah.
So I can make play on 7 different speakers.
Yeah.
And that's often how I do it. And when I record it, I put it up on 7 different speakers. And then I put on headphones and take my recorder and a microphone, and I move within these tones.
Yeah.
Instead of mixing it on the computer,
Yeah.
I mix it by moving in the room.
Yeah.
So it's super naive and kind of clumsy that way.
Acoustic almost.
Yeah, you could say it. Yeah.
In a way.
But then when I play very loud, and there's all these frequencies going on, and people just, I don't know what people do, but I I enjoy it. They stay mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been also actually with these Soundman microphones. You can put them actually in your ears and you can move in space and I recorded, for example, piano like.
Yeah, you look like a junkie heading off.
But
nodding off.
But actually, it makes this really nice flanger effect when you are like keeping the echo pedal down and the whole piano is actually like. So then you can make this really nice effect with the.
You doing? Okay.
Yeah.
And you release stuff for headphones or specifically afterwards?
Sorry?
Do you then release the stuff made for headphones?
No. It works with the speakers also.
Yeah. I think I enjoy to do simple stuff that has a complexity to it.
Yeah.
Rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a technology freak.
Yeah.
It just needs to be very, very simple.
Yeah.
And then you can make it grow in other ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in same like fields like super long boring drones and white noise. You have some pieces with white noise also.
That's right. Yeah.
I've been couple of years now really like dropping there, but maybe if you can talk about your.
It's rain.
Yeah. Your white noise. Yeah.
Yeah, but I enjoy white noise immensely. It has kind of the same qualities as this.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot going on. I did this strange performance once for a movie where I was blindfolded and I had a radio turned on to a white noise channel, and then I walked in the forest and tried to find my way without looking but only listening. And the thing that happens when you have white noise, it's a really delicate sound, and when the balance in the room changes, you kind of know how it looks. You know there's a tree just in front of you.
Yeah.
So you can. So it's kind of a reverse or inverse sonar.
Yeah.
Or maybe actually the same. Then I've done this movie with only white noise on the sound and only white noise on the screen.
Yeah.
So you listen to white noise and you watch white noise, and people just have the most amazing experience.
Yeah.
Like, what was that pop song in there? And there was this image of this forest, of this mountain or whatever.
Yeah.
And all, and it just created a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
I thought it was a beautiful opening.
But it's funny that these days you don't see this white noise anywhere anymore because digital TVs turn off immediately if they start to come there. That's actually, society try to take it away like really heavily, like.
But then it's
the radios also, they turn off if you can't hear it. Like it's
but
crazy.
You can make it in so many other ways.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And the wind is also very good at it.
Yeah. Of course, it's all over.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
And people use it white noise on YouTube is a big thing.
Yeah.
People use it for sleeping.
Sleeping, yeah.
And for babies and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, actually my friend ordered from me, I think he's going to do this series, he's a designer, and he's gonna make a blanket.
Yeah.
And how it looks like, it's the composer makes 8-hour white noise piece, and then they make like release of one copy that they make the blanket and the music and the blanket there, how it looks like it's like match. So this is really brilliant. Like you can take a nap and then you have a sound. And
beautiful.
But yeah, 8 hours. It's pretty long composition, but
yeah, sure.
Why not?
I made this strange assignment for some students once that they had to what was it? They had to record their dreams. I can't remember, but I mean, they had to go into that state where they're not really present.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Just this sleep thing is immensely interesting.
Yeah.
Recently, I made a long sound piece with John Duncan, if you know him, this American sound artist and performance artist.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Where I dreamt the whole record, and I just wrote him, John, I dreamt this, and you say this, and I do this, and is it too strange? And he answered, not too strange. And then he sent me his voice, and then we made the record, and I'm gonna release it later.
Yeah.
But I often use this area to guide me.
Yeah.
I wrote a book that contains only questions. What would Antti Tolvi do? What would Leif Elgren do? What would... And it's a lot of people doing this, what would. And then I kind of made the book, and then I dreamt the title, which is there are no solutions, only decisions. So that's the name of the book.
Yeah. It's only the questions.
Yeah, it's only questions.
Only questions, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I've actually translated it, so I should find a publisher.
Yeah.
Abroad somewhere. I wonder how it sounds in 5 hours.
Actually, I was thinking when they are closing it down, because this is not 24.
No, it's not.
Always open, no.
No, I think it closes at... Or maybe just the shops closes, I don't know. I'm actually not sure. But you can't sleep in here. That's, I think, their main issue.
Yeah. Maybe there might be a few hours when it's closed, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't, that's...
But of course around midnight there's not a lot of people, but the people that are here are maybe very noisy.
Yeah.
I can come back and record something, send you to compare.
Yeah, it's different than because the airports are new, so they are more like dumped or dimmed or so this.
It's an old type of acoustic room.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the funny thing is that when you listen to this recording afterwards, you didn't really record the room that we listened to without headphones.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like that.
No.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
But when you put it inside another medium, the room is not the medium anymore.
Yeah.
It's the recorder and your headphones that's the medium.
Exactly.
And when you record with these really nice headphones, you can hear all the sounds at kind of the same level. But when you take off your headphones, the sounds fall back into their place.
Yeah.
And you listen to the room in a whole different way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find that aspect of both listening and recording very interesting.
Yeah.
You kind of transpose or transform the sounds into something entirely else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's really important when you talk about documenting places.
Yeah.
You often actually document your technology. Oh, the echo of her voice is so beautiful.
Yeah.
The S's kind of.
For me, I can't understand like anything.
No.
It's blah, 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 blah.
It's strange, but it's like that everywhere.
Yeah.
Nobody understands what this is. Maybe down at the station where the room is different, you can actually you're able to understand it.
Yeah. But yes, this was really nice listening.
It was super nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for creating this opportunity.
Yes. Thank you for coming.
It's hard to stop, huh?
Yeah. And you know, if we put the sign here that this is our sound piece, people would listen to it completely differently, and we are now listening it differently. And it's
very good point.
Like small things makes big difference. Like,
yeah, that's exactly right.
we can announce on Facebook that tomorrow, 2 to 3 o'clock, there's sound installation. Be there, and nothing is happening. But it's
a lot is happening.
Yeah, but we don't even have to be here.
No.
But it's so easy and beautiful and simple and
And so powerful also, I think. It's so immense. And I think you don't always have to go to Haiti or Kilimanjaro or whatever to find something worthwhile.
Yeah. Or New York.
Or New York, although it's cool.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy. You don't have to go anywhere.
No.
You can create a lot of really interesting art just by going, around the corner.
Yeah. And for me, I've been trying to compose with the white noises, something I don't know what, but when I've been, let's say, composing 3 hours, white noises and filtering them and listening them, and then they all start to sound the same, of course, because there's nothing there. And then I go outside and I'm living in the countryside, and the windside, and it's like perfect. And like, what I'm doing inside. This is like so complex and 360, and
I agree.
so
That's the mystical composition.
Yeah, it's like going on all the time.
Yeah.
And bit same with those like simple drones. You can just go in the train and just listen to drones, and it's all over.
I'm not much into composing actually. I just wanted to work, and I don't have to express myself in sound.
Yeah.
But I think sound is really interesting to think with, and to be in.
Yeah.
And I'll make a small poster, maybe a sticker, and put it up here somewhere. Maybe just at the side of the sign over there.
Yeah, I have a piece of paper and pen, so we can.
Or you can just stick it in.
Yeah.
Oh, you have tape?
Yeah. We have tape, yeah.
Ah, so easy.
It's so easy.
So powerful. So where are you going now?
I'm going to Kirsteins' place. I'm gonna stay there with Kirsteins.
Yeah.
And then we go to. So we're gonna work tomorrow something. I don't know what. And then we have a show in Aalborg on Friday and Saturday here in Mayhem.
At Mayhem.
Yeah. And then Sunday I'm going back.
There's actually a release of 2 records at Insula, which is a record shop.
Yeah, I know.
And Insula is closing on Saturday.
Hold
forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I have to go there.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you have to carry a lot of
but
stuff.
It's tomorrow also.
Yeah, the shop is open tomorrow and Friday.
But the sale is also tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take my gear.
I forgot about your flying disc over there.
Okay, but I will press stop here. So, bye bye.
Bye bye.